please welcome Jeffery Martin to the Creekside stage.
Well, thank you very much. It's so nice to be here with y'all. I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to play tonight, but I never do, so we'll just feel it out together. And if there's anything you especially want to hear, don't be afraid to holler it out. But I won't promise anything. All right. Here's a song that's none of those ones. Last night I was a lost dog, running wild on the road, looking back over my shoulder for the headlights glow. And blood in my mouth, what I killed I don't know. There was an engine in my chest, beating feet upon the road, yeah. I outran the darkness and the light just the same, and I cried for the edges when I forgot my own name. You see me now, Daddy, I'm a vapor of a ghost, out spinning in the blackness where the time it doesn't go. The end is the beginning of a story I don't know, out spinning in the blackness where the time it does not go. Yeah, yeah. I met an angel, a boring man by a tree. His fire had been stolen by an eternity. I'll be dead in a moment, just a breath and I'll be gone. Love is everything, can't be held for too long. I'll be dead in a moment, yeah, just a breath and I'll be gone. Love is everything, can't be held for too long. Well, thank you. When I was a kid, when I was a kid, I remember riding around in my dad's car with him. Maybe I was like 10 years old or something, and he had all these mixtapes in there that he had made from his old vinyl records and stuff. And this Graham Nash song came on called "Wounded Bird," and it really hit me. It's maybe my like earliest memory of being hit by a tune that meant something more than like the top 40 bullshit kind of. And I asked him to rewind it and play it again when it was over, and we just kind of cruised around all night listening to this song over and over again. And when I made this latest album, wrote this song called Quiet Man, and didn't realize until the song had been written that I just stole all of Graham Nash's chords. And I don't mind it at all. I think that happens all the time. There's only so many, you know. But I like that. I like that it kind of lived in me somewhere and then found its way out into a song of mine. And, don't tell him if you know. It doesn't sound anything like his song, but this song called Quiet Man. Oh, there's holes in all the side walls where the wind it brings the rain in, and the gold crowns have been found out to be brass that has been painted up. There's holes in all our Bibles where we make secret compartments to hide the broken treasures we smuggled out of the garden. Yeah. And we gaze at our reflections like insecure children, poorly dressed and always panicking in the bodies of men and women. And we stumble on like drunkards toward a cliff just because none of us cares about the end when we're trying to find love. And we get moving in the morning, we suffer on into the evening, where we finally drink the whiskey that soothes our disbelieving, while others find a bad place and build a fence around it, spend their time on the money they make and find ways to talk about it. There's an angry man on the mountain, just like there's always been. There's a quiet man in the valley standing taller than him. And there's a child with a secret that she doesn't know she holds. And the fact that I can see it means that I'm growing old. Yeah. Some of us get lucky, find an anchor in the storm. Some of us never learn to see beyond the place we were born. And time is a mystic with a briefcase in his hand. You can pay to look inside it, but you can't afford to understand the Lord. Maybe heaven is a place that doesn't have an address, and maybe that's okay, just like joy or sadness. You can meet God in a cigarette, just the same as in a sermon, and the devil's always listening to those who are deserving. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. I think someone asked for a song called Billy Burroughs. I'll play that one for you. Before I was doing music full time. I was a high school English teacher. I did that for. Well, I'm not anymore. Are there any teachers here, though? Ah, cool. I taught a lot of freshmen, and I really loved doing this thing with them at the beginning of the school year when they were just entering high school, you know, and they're all nervous and stuff. And they'd walk into my classroom, and on all the walls I had a bunch of Hitler's artwork. I didn't tell them right away that it was Hitler's, but kind of as soon as they got settled, I'd say, like, pull out a piece of paper and pretend that you're an art critic and write about the art that you see around you on the walls. And everyone would give it pretty high marks, you know. Like they might say, like, it's not really my thing, but it's pretty good, you know. And then I would tell them, you know, Hitler made all that stuff, and they wouldn't believe me, and I have to Google it and show them and stuff. And then they'd get all upset and be like, why did you make us do this? And we'd get into this big discussion about, like, what are you allowed to separate the art from the artist? You know, like, what happens, or what are you supposed to do when you find out that the thing you love, that the person that made it maybe was a terrible person or did some bad things, and you know, I don't know. I don't think there is a clean answer to that question, but it's a good discussion to have. Anyway, this is a song called Billy Burroughs. It's about the writer William S. Burroughs, and he was a complicated person, to say the least. And I'm a big fan of his writing and of all the Beat Generation writers, but I found out that they're all assholes in their own way, and that really taints the writing for me. So hopefully I can ruin it for you too. My guitar is being weird here. I found this story about Burroughs when I was in college. I had this professor that knew that I was obsessed with him. And she said, why don't you look into his life and write about that instead of just looking at his writing? And so I found out that when he was a young man, he shot his wife at a party attempting this party trick and killed her, and then went on to become this really celebrated author. Okay. I remember where I was when I first read William Burroughs shot his lover dead. Put a highball glass on top of her head and missed. And I wonder if he knew it right then, or if it took a while to sink in. He would never come back again, not from this. And baby, sit still and close your eyes. It's only the price of a good time. And baby, sit still and close your eyes. It's only the price of a good time. good time. Where I heard he hopped a boat to the east, looking for that opium release, and hiding from that final scene with his next fix. And all Jack's horses and Ginsberg's men couldn't put him back together again. He was broken by the weight of his sin and his pen. And baby, sit still and close your eyes. It's only the price of a good time. And baby, sit still and close your eyes. It's only the price of a good time. Of a good time. Of a good time. Of a good time. I don't have many like love songs per se, but this one maybe is. This one qualifies, I think. I'll give you this one. It doesn't sound happy to begin with, but it gets there. This one. So if you're looking for a happy song, this is maybe as close as we're gonna get for the next hour, and then it's just gonna be pretty awful after this. So. I've got that faraway sadness behind my eyes again, and I know you can see it, you can always look right in. And I try to hold a smile as we roll on for miles, playing songs for strangers in towns that aren't ours. Let that old time music burn a hole in my chest, burn a hole in my chest, and see you laying in the grass in that thrift store dress, in that thrift store dress. I never know I'm leaving all the places I want to stay until I realize the feeling has changed and gone away. And it makes me want to have children and build a house that can't be moved. Still I'm thankful in my wandering that I'm wandering with you. Let that old time music burn a hole in my chest,
burn a hole in my chest. See you laying in the grass in that thrift store dress, in that thrift store dress. There's a design as pure as any that a woman makes this man better than he is when he's trying to understand the world from an island he built of lonesome dreams. At night you sing the parts of me that I haven't ever seen. Let that old time music burn a hole in my chest, burn a hole in my chest. And see you laying in the grass in that thrift store dress, in that thrift store dress. And see you laying in the grass in that thrift store dress, in that thrift store dress.
Okay, I haven't played this song in so long. I don't really know what's going to happen here. It's very risky to play it right after a song I forgot the words to. So. I got to make sure I'm in the right key. Down at the bottom of the quarry. Okay, yeah, okay. Down at the bottom of the quarry, there's a diamond for my baby. Down at the bottom of my pocket, there's a lonely dollar bill. There's a lonely dollar bill. I've been working hard to make it, and I've been trying not to fake it, but my hands, they are shaking, for the road is longer still. Yeah, the road is longer still. I caught a spark in the dark and it moves me along. Oh, moves me along. There's a beat in my heart that will carry me home. Yeah, carry me home. Oh, carry me home. Does everybody remember the next line? Now we're taking all the chances, and we're splitting up the rations, making riches from the ashes, singing steady as we go, singing steady as we go. No more standing at the mountain, wishing instead it was a fountain full of money for the counting, make us rotten to the bone, that will make us rotten to the bone. Yeah, no more standing at the mountain, wishing instead it was a fountain full of money for the counting, make us rotten to the bone, that will make us rotten to the bone. I caught a spark in the dark and it moves me along. Oh, moves me along. There's a beat in my heart that will carry me home. Yeah, carry me home. Oh, carry me home. Yeah, carry me home. Oh, carry me home. I'm not a religious person, but I like asking questions that exist in those spaces sometimes. There's a song about all that shit stuff. Nobody knows me, where I go when I'm angry, or how often I'm lonely. I guess they're the same thing. Nobody knows me. And in my mind there's a garden full of beauty and darkness, full of sorrow and sweet things, where my heart can be honest. In my mind there's a garden, and in that garden there's a fruit tree. I eat from it daily, the same that Adam and Eve ate. What does that make me? In my garden there's a fruit tree. Oh, I wanna know the secret. I wanna peek behind the curtain. I wanna find out for certain if I'm here on purpose. Yeah, I wanna know the secret. As if knowing would save me from the things that have made me. As if the mess that I'm making isn't really a blessing. As if knowing would save me. And in my mind there's a garden. It's full of beauty and darkness, full of sorrow and sweet things, where my heart can be honest. In my mind there's a garden. In my mind there's a garden. In my mind there's a garden. Thank you. This is a song about somebody who grew up in a small place. Not necessarily like geographically small, just small-minded place. It took them a bit in life to maybe find a better way of being in the world. And I was imagining somebody who, like, when they realized that they wanted to be in the world in a better way that they went through this kind of radical transformation and became better. It's called Red Station Wagon. Hey, did you lose my guitar or is it still there? There it is. I can still see that red station wagon on the street by your house. We'd walk to rent movies and wander our way across town. Out away from your dad, you were always so easily found. You let your hands dance and you let yourself laugh out loud. Hey, I remember. Oh. And that night on the roof of the school, when we were talking at stars, and you said that you might be afraid of who you really are, and your hand touched my hand and retreated in that desperate dark. I called you a faggot and laughed and punched you in the arm. I don't believe it. I don't believe it now. I don't believe how I let you down. Church was a boot on your neck since the day you were born. They didn't like the way that you talk or how you move in the world, how you glide like a leaf on the water, all gentle and kind. All the world wants a man who is hard, not hard to define. And you feel like a child that the God of all forgot to name. Like he gave you a heart, but he did not give you a place. Did he breathe into you just to tell you that you are to blame? Did he breathe into you just to tell you that you are to blame? I don't believe it. I can't believe it now. I can't believe how I let you down. Did he breathe into you just to tell you that you are to blame? Did he breathe into you just to tell you that you are to blame? I don't believe it. I don't believe
believe it now. I don't believe it. I don't believe it now. I don't believe it. I don't believe it now.
It's so nice to be here. I've heard about this festival for years, and it's already way cooler than what I imagined it would be. It's a good size. It's a good size festival.
Made it cooler.
Okay, this is a song called Sad Blue Eyes. The last spot where I was a high school teacher, it was in this like small town in Oregon, like a town of about 4,000 people, and it was really great. But I taught there for a couple of years, and while I was teaching there, music started kind of taking off for me a little bit, and I was spending more time on tour and stuff, and it kind of got to this point where I had to decide between teaching and music, and I remember that decision. It felt really scary in the moment because I felt like I had drifted kind of far from songwriting while I was teaching, because I just spent so much time grading papers and things that I didn't have it in me at the end of the day to work on a tune really. And so I thought, well, great, I'm gonna quit teaching, and then I'm not gonna have any songs, and then that's a disaster. But when I stopped teaching, it was like the week after. All these songs just kind of poured out of my head, and I realized that in all the parent-teacher conferences and all the things that I was doing when I was teaching, I was just kind of like taking notes, I think, subconsciously. And so I wrote all these songs that are basically about the parents of my students I had. There's no names and stuff, so it's okay, but... There's okay, I won't say anything more about that.
He grew up in a house in the valley with a daddy who was one long cigarette. And his mama walked out on a Friday night with a man that she just met. He liked walking the blacktop streets in the rain, in the dark, when the city was dead. The machine gone to sleep, he could hear himself think, and he liked what he saw on his head. Her sad blue eyes. He found work at the yard, picking apart cars out on Springfield and Lariat. Likes a girl with scars on her arms, it proves she ain't seen what she wants to yet, with her sad blue eyes. Don't you see it, boy? Everything's a circle in this town, and the best you give can't fix what cannot be found. Behind her sad blue eyes, behind her sad blue eyes, behind her sad blue eyes, yeah. Ooh, yeah. He put his head to the stone, working all day long, saving up those dollars and dimes. He's got his eye on a ring at the Oakwood Mall, and he likes how the diamond shines. There's a quarter-acre lot with a trailer on the spot if he can work a deal out on time. And they park across the street where they dream and they drink, and he says, I'm gonna make you mine, and your sad blue eyes. Don't you see it, boy? Everything's a circle in this town, and the best you give can't fix what cannot be found. Behind her sad blue eyes, behind her sad blue eyes, behind her sad blue eyes, yeah. Oh, yeah. When they're naked at night, she whispers to him, I know you can make it all right. But the damage moves in like a ghost from within, and a storm grows behind her sad blue eyes. When they're naked at night, she whispers to him, I know you can make it all right. But the damage moves in like a ghost from within, and a storm grows behind her sad blue eyes. Her sad blue eyes. Someone asked for this old song earlier. I'm going to try and play it. It's called Thief and a Liar. And I'll leave you with a newer one. I wrote this song back in 2008 after the crash back then. And unfortunately, things haven't improved enough to retire the song, so I'll keep singing about assholes and stuff. It started with a little off the top from the corner store. The funny thing about a little is you always want more. I stole a nickel in my pocket and I'm gonna go far. Now I'm robbing the graves in my own backyard. I am a thief and a liar of the very worst kind. Oh, I sell to the broken and I rob them blind. I will build you a house with my own two hands, and then burn it to the ground as quick as I can. Yeah, as quick as I can. Oh, as quick as I can. I have to lie to go to bed and lie to wake up. To forget the voices of the dead, you gotta play tough. I am suits and ties and cocaine crazy within, and I will look you in the eyes when I do you in. I am suits and ties and cocaine crazy within, and I will look you in the eyes when I do you in. I am a thief and a liar of the very worst kind. Oh, I sell to the broken and I rob them blind. I will build you a house with my own two hands, and then burn it to the ground as quick as I can. As quick as I can. Oh, as quick as I can. Oh, when's the 99% gonna wake up and see? My power is a finger on the trigger, not a head full of dreams. Yeah, when's the 99% gonna wake up and see? My power is a finger on the trigger, not a head full of dreams. I am a thief and a liar, the very worst kind. Oh, I sell to the broken and I rob them blind. I will build you a house with my own two hands, and then burn it to the ground as quick as I can. Yeah, as quick as I can. Oh, as quick as I can. Oh, yeah. Hey, hey, hey.
It's been so nice playing for y'all out here in the shade, and big thanks to the festival for having me, and Mickey for having us on the property. I'm gonna leave you with this little song called "There Is a Treasure." Kind of about that thing that we all know about, but we can't hold it and we can't touch it. It's just kind of there in our minds. And it's a good thing, though. Hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. I'll see you walking around.
The city will still be moving in the morning. A million lives all breathing like a tide. Each one a story beyond our comprehending. Each trying to make a life and feel alive. And the trees will bloom down along the river, and the kids will race the fountains in the light. And someone will cry and pray that it gets better, and someone will stop and trade and change a life. And the sun will rise like it always does on the day that I die. And the world will spin, the sun will go on burning, never even knowing I was alive. There's a treasure that we all know, but we can't have it. It's a place beyond the measure of our minds. It is where we go when we forget we're living. It is where we go when we forget we die. And all the tools we use to feel important, they are useless as a sailboat in the sky. Where old bones and heartaches are forgotten, it's a place we don't have words to describe. And the sun will rise like it always does on the day that I die. And the world will spin, the sun will go on burning, never even knowing I was alive. Yeah, the world will spin, the sun will go on burning, never even knowing I was alive. Thanks, everybody.